So this is how you can communicate with all the patrons in the audience by building these chat bubbles in advance of the performance, correct?
Yes. So the chat bubbles are part of your platform system. This screen is your overview screen, so it gives you a rundown on your organization, such as your phone number, code, your monthly messages, if you're using donations. You also have things like your messages, your keywords, which are your chat bubbles, your digital program builder, mass messaging, and your ad sales department. So the chat bubble keywords that you're talking about, as you build those, patrons can text in and get whatever responses that you've built into the system. So if you want to take them to a specific page on a website, show them your digital program, or even have something for tickets or surveys, you can build all those responses directly into this platform. So when patrons text it, that's what they get back. This screen will capture what the patrons text back, that way you can see them. So if a patron has a comment or a question or a concern, you can then reply directly to that patron and open up a nice one-on-one communication with your audience.
Wow.
So it creates it on a really nice personal level. They can send in images too, which you can then download and use on your social media sites.
I know lots of folks now that are using Audience Access are using it for their virtual performances, and we had a situation where one of the organizations was having a little Halloween contest with costumes. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how they did that?
Yes, that was really neat. So we had one organization where they created a keyword called Halloween, and they had patrons text into it. And then the response that the patrons got back was asking the patrons to send in an image of them or even their children or their pets in a Halloween costume, along with the show they were going to see. And so what they were doing with that is they were going to pick one image to be a winner for a couple of free tickets to a show. And I think they ended up with over 50 different images from people, all in different costumes. So it's kind of really neat to look at, because you had Dracula and the Headless Horseman and a couple of Toy Story characters, a dinosaur. So it was a lot of fun.
One of the other features, maybe you can take us back to the portal to show us this, but I know one of the features is the capability of building a survey and collecting information. And we had one of the organizations that was able to use the survey capabilities of Audience Access to land a $32,000 grant, I think. Is that right?
It is. That is right. They were able to use our mass messaging system, which is another very powerful feature in the dashboard. What they did is they were filling out a survey or an application for a grant. And one of the questions on the application was how many of your patrons visited a restaurant either before or after coming to your show. And normally information like that would be hard to get, but they came in here to the mass messaging platform and they were able to filter down by keywords or even date ranges, the different phone numbers that they had stored in the system. And as you can see, mine pulls back 7. If I were to expand the date range or the keywords, I'd get more. But they pretty much grabbed all the phone numbers they had stored in the system, which were over, I think, 2,700 phone numbers. And then they created a mass message asking all their patrons, saying, hey, if you went to a restaurant before or after coming to a performance, please respond yes. And it was as simple as that. And I think within 2 days, they had over 700 responses of people saying yes, they had gone to a restaurant before the show.
I know there's another one of the theater organizations that was performing outdoors used the Audience Access mass texting because they ran into some inclement weather. I think it was some remnants of the hurricane. Is that right?
Yes. So they set up keywords, which you can do. You can set up custom keywords yourself. They set up a keyword for weather. And they sent out an email address to all their patrons that they had emails for, saying, if you would like to receive weather updates prior to a show, please text weather. So they did that. And what that did is it segmented all those patrons into that weather keyword bucket. And then using the mass messaging feature, they could come in here, select the keyword weather, and then mass text all the people that wanted to be texted about weather when something was going to happen.